Hello everyone, this time we're going to be making a Southwestern style shrimp, corn, and cilantro soup. Now why I don't say today, because this is going to take me 2 days to make. So first thing we need is, you need some shrimp. I just got a shrimp ring and I've been eating off of it. You're going to need some cilantro. Get some corn. Now I would wait a couple more weeks for corn. It's not quite the season yet and it's a little expensive. These four cobs were $4, and the grocery stores are out of the fresh, frozen, in a can corn kernels. You're gonna need cheesecloth, Doritos, Cool Ranch, a nice medium-sized bag. You don't have to get the family size. And you're gonna need some gelatin, just straight gelatin. Don't get the Jell-O. And then they got cool recipes on the back of these, like this. It's a snap cheesecake, which would have been perfect for Valentine's Day instead of Jack's. I mean, this is actually, you're making the cheesecake filling itself instead of just buying it in a can. But that's not the big thing. Alright, so you're going to need a pot. You're going to need 8 cups of water here, which I got all set up. So we're going to open up the Doritos. We're going to pour our Doritos right in here. You should get about 8 cups worth of Doritos, which will be fine for this bag. And then we want to pour our water right into it. And just be careful, it's going to splash quite a bit. And we're going to crush these up here in a second too. Make sure we get these in here. Alright, we're going to take it right over to our stove, and we want to get this up to a boil. So turn this right on high. Get something to crush it down with. Here we go, I got something better to crush this with now. And we're just going to let this get up to a boil. I should have crushed it while it was in the bag. You know, that would have been the smart thing to do, but you know what? Screw it now. Wasn't thinking. You know, this is like some shit fucking Cobra would cook. Jesus Christ. Alright, we're getting to that boil. We're almost there. Alright, we're on a boil, so we want to take this off the heat, and we want to steep this for 30 minutes. We're going to put the lid on it, and we'll steep it for 30 minutes. Alright, it's been steeping for 30 minutes now. We want to go take the lid off. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is nice looking. Let's stir it a little bit. Oh yeah. We want to take the lid off, and we're going to go over and strain this in the sink. And we're going to put it back on this pot. Let me get in there. I have to give it a quick rinse. Let this come out of there. Pick this right up. And strain some of it right over the pot too. Not much more of it wants to strain out, at least for water. Take this. I think I'm supposed to add some more. We'll let it strain for a little bit and we'll come back to this too. Alright, so I think most of this drained out. Best that we could get. I'm going to take this back over to our stove, and we want to bring this up to a boil. Bring this back to a boil. I'm going to give that skunk a little stir. Alright, and then while we're waiting, we want to get 2 cups of water and a half a teaspoon of Gelatin. There, that's about 2 cups. And get the gelatin. God, why didn't I rip the whole thing? That should be good. Mix this up. And we're still waiting for this to come to a boil. It's almost there. And once it does, we are going to put that liquid in it. Alright, it's up to a boil now. I'm going to put this in here. We're going to turn this off. We're going to go put this pot in the freezer overnight. Hopefully I can find some space. Cut out. I'm actually going to pour it into a different jug, and I'm going to put this in the freezer instead. So we'll put this in overnight and we'll come back tomorrow. Alright, so I got my frozen solid Doritos. I'm going to take some hot water and go. Oh, that came out a little easier than I thought it would, but now we're going to put it in a pan, strainer with cheesecloth over it, and let it strain for a while. Alright, so it's been about 11 hours. We're going to take a look. You see all our Dorito scum in here. Look at this. Oh, that's pretty nasty. Oh. Alright, and below we should have our nice crystal clear consomme. It actually looks pretty good. It's actually relatively clear. It's not as clear as hers. You can obviously see the yellowing a little bit. So I got some water boiling. I'm going to boil the corn up, and I'm going to pan sear some of the shrimp. I got a couple of the tails taken off. And then I'm going to put the cilantro in there too. So let me go get the corn washed up. I'm going to start boiling it. Alright, I had to cut my corn in half. I'm going to put it in there, let it boil in a nice salted water for about 4 minutes. See, got 4 minutes on there. Now while we're doing that, I'm going to sear up some of the shrimp too. Hopefully I don't burn it like I burned the bacon last night. That was crazy. Since these are small, they should only need like a real quick light sear. Just so they're hot. That should be good on our shrimp. Turn this off. And we should be good on our corn. Take it over to our plate. Shrimp. Alright, the corn's still a little warm, but we want to slice it right off. Make sure you use a nice sharp knife when you do this. Fucking hot still, Jesus Christ. Cut it right off. I think that should be alright for this. Take some of our consomme, put it in here. Now I'm gonna leave some of it lukewarm, and I'm gonna heat some of this in the microwave. So we'll make this a hotter dish. We'll do 30 seconds, I guess. Probably pretty good. All right, this is pretty hot. It's not too bad. Put a little bit of corn in here. Put in our 4 seared shrimps, and then we need some of this. Take a couple sprigs and wash it off. She probably had what, like, I think she had like 2-3 leaves in there. So we'll just do And here's our Southwestern style soup with the Dorito Consomme. Alright, so I got my hot soup here, and I got the lukewarm variant of the Dorito Consomme. This is about all you get. Is, I don't know, I'd say like 2-3 cups worth. You can probably make 3 bowls of soup out of that whole bag of Doritos. Let's dig in. Let's get a piece of everything. I'm more curious to how the consomme itself tastes. It should be pretty good though. It's different. You can definitely taste the Dorito dust in there, in the consomme itself. It's not overpowering, but it's really, really fucking weird. Like, I would not... Damn storage space on my phone ran out. What I was trying to say is it tastes pretty weird. It's not something I would make in fucking... I would never think to make this. It honestly was not worth waiting for that. It's obvious that it's watered down Doritos. You could probably get the Dorito dust and just mix it with water and get the same effect that this was. It's honestly not that great. The cilantro really... I never liked cilantro to begin with, but it really overpowers the Dorito flavor. But it's definitely there and is not very good. Let me try it lukewarm. Oh yeah, that's even worse. Nope, I would not recommend this at all. Alright, why don't you give this a try, and while he's determining, smell it. See if you can smell what it is. While he's determining and he's going to try it, I'm going to tell a story. So, and it's going to go into a long, kind of winded thing. Basically, Maine's Paper and Food went out of business, and when are you going to try it? Go ahead. Yeah. Maine's Paper and Food went out of business, and so a lot of other companies are picking up on that supply. So what is it?
It tastes like chips, kind of.
What kind of chips?
Piece of you.
He just put his dirty spoon back in my fucking...
Oh yeah, I did put a dirty spoon back in.
That's alright. But, well, he's trying to think of that. Anyway, Maine's Paper and Food went out of business.
I don't want to taste it again.
Wow.
I don't know, like just plain potato chips?
No, it's Doritos, Cool Ranch Doritos. You'll get a consolation prize. I'm gonna go get you a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. Anyways, so Maine's Paper and Food went out of business, and so a lot of other suppliers are picking up on their food sources, which we kind of saw the writing on the wall a long time ago anyway. So we've been getting some other places, food from other places anyway. But here's the story I wanted to get to. Here's your consolation prize, your bag of Doritos.
You got me in that video.
Anyway, the story I want to get to, so back in the 90s, bars had matchboxes that had logos on it. You'll like this story. So they had matchboxes that had logos on it. Now, when you would go to the bar, you'd obviously get one, and if you smoked or not, it didn't really matter. But if you got pulled over later for drunk driving, you hit a tree or some shit like that, cops would see your matchbox in the car on the floor or whatever, and they'd go to that establishment and question why you were overserved or whatever. So this context will be in a second. So now in our state, they're trying to have liquor mixed drinks to go in to-go cups. And the basic idea, from what I understand for the law, is that you need to post a notice for 48 hours that you can have a mixed drink to go, but you cannot drink it in the car, and it has to go in your trunk and whatnot, and then it's still illegal to drunk drive. Well, once that's over, I think a lot of places are not doing that yet. It just started today. We're going from a yellow or a red county to a yellow county starting tomorrow. But so the idea of when you conserve the mixed drinks is you have to have it in a sealed container, either sealed with a piece of tape or whatever. There's no really good instructions on it. And you can't have the straw in it. Now the customer can take it out to their car, and they're supposed to put it in the trunk of their car and then drive home, and once they get home then they can drink it. Now if you think about this logically, think about this. If you're getting a fucking mixed drink from a restaurant, you're not going to want to put it in the fucking trunk of your car. You're not going to want your ice to melt down your liquor or whatever the hell you got. You're going to want to drink it. Well, if you drink it out in your car, the restaurant is legally responsible, since you're still on their property, for you drinking on the premises. And you can get your liquor license revoked for that, and a huge fine from fucking cops. And obviously if you drive down the road with that, that's also an open container violation, and it just leads to a whole bunch of other shit.